The former Kano State Governor stated that Governor Mba has shown conviction, clarity, and courage, noting that he has chosen national alignment over division in the interest of the people of Enugu State. Dr. Dangote said Governor Mba's move from the People's Democratic Party to the All Progressive Congress further demonstrates that true leadership is not defined by personal comfort or political convenience, but by the firm resolve to place the welfare and future of the people above all else. President Bola Tinubu has urged West African leaders to push for the designation of resources theft, illegal mining, and mineral smuggling as international crime, saying such acts had become grave threats to regional peace, stability, and development. Represented by the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, George Akume, the President made the call in Abuja while declaring open the annual general meeting of the Network of National Anti-Corruption Institutions in West Africa. He said the proceeds of such thefts not only deprive citizens of development benefit but also fund insecurity, the proliferation of small arms and light weapons, banditry and kidnapping across the region. President Bola Tinubu has forwarded the name of Professor Joash Amopitan to the Senate for approval as the chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, that is INEC. The National Assembly correspondent Topsy Gimba has details.
Tinubu's correspondence was read on the floor by the President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio. Professor Amopitan's name was forwarded to the Senate in line with Section 154, Subsection 1 of the 1999 Constitution as amended. The nomination was referred to the Committee of the Whole to screen and approve the appointment of Professor Amopitan as INEC chairman.
In accordance with the provisions of Section 154, Subsection 1 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 as amended, I am pleased to present for confirmation by the Senate the appointment of Professor Joash Amopitan, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, as Chairman, Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC.
President Tinubu, in another request through a different letter, sought confirmation of the Senate for the appointments of Ayo Omidiron as new Executive Chairman of the Federal Charter Commission, FCC, and 28 others as Federal Commissioners.
President of the Senate, distinguished SP, confirmation of appointment of Chairman and Commissioners of the Federal Character Commission. In accordance with the provisions of Section 154, Subsection 1 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 as amended, I am pleased to present for confirmation by the Senate the underlisted 39 names of nominees, as one as a chairman and others as commissioners of Federal Character Commission, FCC, as follows.
In another development, Senator Semela Dahoga Kaila has formally left the People's Democratic Party, PDP, to join the All Progressives Congress, APC. President of the Senate, Akpabio, announcing the move on the Senate floor, said Senator Kaila's decision follows thorough consultations with political allies and constituents in Bauchi North Central. Akpabio also noted that Senator Kaila cited internal crises and loss of strategic direction within the PDP as key factors limiting his ability to serve effectively under the party's platform.
In the welfare of my people, I have found it necessary to realign my political engagements with a more progressive platform that embodies good governance, unity, progress, growth, and discipline in the governance of our country. Consequently, I have chosen to join the All Progressives Congress, APC, and to lend my full commitment to the implementation of the renewed hope agenda of His Excellency, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, DCFR.
The Senate, after adopting the prayers of the motion sponsored by Senator Aniekan on the urgent dehumanization of Nigerians in Libya, the Senate went into a closed-door session. Topsy Gimba reporting for Global Television News.
Meanwhile, the Senate has mandated the federal government to negotiate with the Libyan government to repatriate Nigerian women who have been sexually abused and given birth in the North African nation's prisons. This followed a motion of urgent public importance on the need to protect Nigerians of their human rights and abuses in Libya, sponsored by Senator Anekan Etin-Bassi, Akwa Ibom Northeast. Again, Topsy Gimba reports.
Anekan Etin-Bassi said over 1,000 Nigerians repatriated from Libya were said to have been tortured, sexually abused, dehumanized, and even involved in organ harvesting. He urged his colleagues to support the motion to protect Nigerians from these abuses in Libya.
The Senate is further aware that Amnesty International, the International Organization of Nigeria, and other credible bodies have documented consistent reports of arbitrary detention, torture, rape, forced labor, and killings of migrants in Libyan detention centers operated by both states and non-state actors.
Senator Anthony Ani Iboinsao, Senator Adams Oshomolen Edo North, and Senator Victor Ome Anambra Central supported the motion advising Nigerians to avoid illegal migration to war-torn Libya.
Having seconded, with your permission, sir, let me lend my voice to this very important motion. This has been a recurring decimal in our national life.
To advise our people, we are in a free country, nobody needs exit visa to travel. But people should be informed that after the collapse of Gaddafi, Libya is no longer what it used to be. There is no reason why an African will find himself in another African country and he will be so or she treated as if he's not a human being.
Presiding over the plenary, President of the Senate Godswill Akpabio called for amendment to the prayers. Senator Natasha Akpoti-Odeogun, Kogi Central urged the immigration officers and correctional service to liaise with the Libyan authorities to repatriate Nigerian women who have been sexually abused and given birth in Libyan prisons to be repatriated.
This is born out of the fact that numerous Nigerian women who were sex trafficked to Libya and happened to escape the unworthy, unhuman situations were arrested and detained in the Libyan prisons, and they are being used to satisfy the sexual urges.
The amendment was unanimously adopted, and the motion was referred to the Joint Committee on Foreign Affairs, Judiciary to investigate and report back to the plenary. Topsy Gimba reporting for Global Television News.
The House of Representatives has called for urgent intervention in the lingering dispute between the federal government and the Academic Staff Union of Universities, that is ASU. Rising under a motion of urgent public importance, member representing Badagry Federal Constituency, Lagos State, C.C. Wigan, drew the attention of the House to the ongoing disagreement between the federal government and ASU, warning that the impasse poses a threat to the stability of Nigeria's tertiary education. National Assembly correspondent Aniete Patrick reports.
In adopting the motion, the House mandated its leadership, led by Speaker Tajuddin Abbas, to immediately wade into the matter and facilitate a lasting, mutually acceptable resolution between both parties. The House further appealed to the federal government and ASU to exercise restraint, embrace constructive dialogue, and place the interests of students and national development above all other considerations.
Mandates the leadership of the House, led by the People's Speaker, the Right Honorable Tajuddin Abbas, to immediately intervene between the federal government and ASU.
In another development, the House of Representatives is urging key maritime agencies and the Federal Ministry of Marine and Blue Economy on the establishment of the long-awaited Ibom Deep Seaport project. The resolution followed the adoption of a motion jointly sponsored by Uyime Idem and 8 other lawmakers from Akwa Ibom State. The House observed that marine trade and the blue economy continue to shape global growth, yet Nigeria, particularly Akwa Ibom, has not fully tapped into maritime potential.
Nigerian Port Authority, NPA, the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, NIMASA, and other relevant agencies to initiate a collaborative framework with the government of Akwa Ibom State for the establishment and realization of the Ibom deep sea ports.
Also, the House has urged the Federal Ministry of Housing and Urban Development to institutionalize a national database of forfeited assets with mechanism for public tracking and civil society oversight to promote accountability and public trust. This was the resolution of the House under a motion by Jafaru Leko, member representing Bogoro, Das, Tafawa, Balewa Federal Constituency, Bauchi State, on the need for transparent and equitable allocation of forfeited Abuja estate handed over to the Ministry of Housing by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission.
Submit a comprehensive report to the House within 60 days on the proposed use allocation criteria and beneficiary selection for the estate.
Meanwhile, the House passed 26 bills for first reading. Anie T. Patrick reporting for Global TV.
The Independent National Electoral Commission has reaffirmed its commitment to credible and inclusive elections as it met with leaders of registered political parties in Abuja. The meeting, the third in the Commission's quarterly series for the year, focused on ongoing preparations for upcoming polls and the continuous voters registration exercise. Federal Capital Territory Minister Nyesom Wike has assured Nigerians of better days ahead, stating that President Tinubu is working to change the country's narrative for the better. The minister gave the assurance at the official commissioning of the Daki-Biu Access Road within the Federal Capital Territory. Kabir Hassan has details.
The newly commissioned Daki-Biu Access Road is part of the ongoing efforts by the Federal Capital Territory Administration to improve road networks, enhance connectivity, and ensure free flow of movement within the FCT. The Minister of the FCT at the commissioning ceremony, attended by top government officials and community leaders, reaffirmed the administration commitment to delivering quality projects that will positively impact lives, while emphasizing continuous development under the Federal Capital Territory Administration.
Nigerians will see what they have never seen before. So, all I'm pleading with all of you Nigerians, continue to be patient. We'll get to the promised land. Through Mr. President, it will be a different narrative.
He also highlighted the achievement of President Bola Tinubu's administration in restoring confidence and driving meaningful change across sectors of the economy to national development.
Mr. President, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Grand Commander of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, has shown the right leadership. And that is why we're able to achieve. People are talking about the achievements we have made. It's because of the right leadership.
With several completed and ongoing projects across the territory, Wike assured that the federal government remains focused on building a better, safer, and more connected capital city for all residents. Kabir Hassan reporting for Global TV News.
You're watching the live broadcast of AM News. When AM News returns, we'll bring you more stories. Stay with us. Welcome back from that break. Now let's take you to the world of business, where the House of Representatives has moved to protect Nigerians from what it described as arbitrary and exploitative bank charges imposed by commercial banks across the country. This followed a motion of urgent public importance raised by Shagaya Mukhtar from Kwara State during plenary. The House therefore called on the CBN to set up an efficient and accessible complaint redress mechanism for customers affected by such charges. National Assembly correspondent Aniete Patrick completes the report.
Presenting the motion, Shagaya expressed concern over the growing complaints from bank customers across Nigeria about incessant, arbitrary and unexplained deductions from their accounts by commercial banks. He noted that while banks are expected to provide financial services at fair and transparent costs, many Nigerians have continued to suffer multiple deductions such as SMS alerts, charges, card and account maintenance fees, interbank transfer fees, stamp duties, and other unaccounted debits, some of which are duplicated or unjustified. Adopting the motion, the House urged the Central Bank of Nigeria to immediately publish a comprehensive and simplified list of approved bank charges and enforce strict penalties on banks found guilty of illegal deductions.
The CBN to publish a comprehensive and simplified list of approved bank charges and ensure proper enforcement of penalties against banks found to be in violation.
In another development, the House of Representatives has urged the Nigerian Armed Forces, the police and other security agencies to immediately reinforce deployment and launch joint operations in Kebe and Tambuwal local government areas of Sokoto State, following renewed bandit attacks that have left scores dead, many adopted, and entire communities displaced. The call followed a motion of urgent public importance raised by Abdulsamad Dasuki, representing Kebe, Tambuwal Federal Constituency of Sokoto State.
That if these attacks persist without immediate and decisive intervention, Kebe and Tambuwal may experience further humanitarian crisis, mass displacement, and deepened distrust between citizens and the state.
Meanwhile, at plenary, 3 Kaduna State PDP members of the House of Representatives defected to the ruling APC. The defectors are Abdul Karim Ahmed, representing Kaduna South Federal Constituency, Aliyu Abdullahi, representing Ikara, Kabo Federal Constituency, and Sadiq Abdullahi, representing Sabo Geri Federal Constituency. Reading their defection letters, the Speaker, Tajuddin Abbas, during plenary said their defection was due to an internal crisis within the PDP. The highlight of the defection was the presence of Kaduna State Governor Uba Sani in plenary. Anieti Patrick, reporting for Global TV.
Nigeria's agricultural sector is set for a major financing boost as the European Union has approved a €190 million credit line to expand lending to farmers and agribusinesses through Nigeria commercial banks and development finance institutions. Minister of Budget and Economic Planning Special Advisor on Media, Bolaji Adeniyi, confirmed the development in a statement. The International Monetary Fund, that is IMF, has upgraded Nigeria's economic growth projection, forecasting a 3.9% expansion in 2025 and 4.2% in 2026. The revised figure was announced during the launch of the World Economic Outlook 2025 at the ongoing World Bank and IMF annual meetings in Washington, D.C. It is July 25 update. The IMF had projected Nigeria's growth at 3.4%, but the latest report reflects a 0.5 percentage point increase, signaling renewed correspondence and confidence in the country's reform-driven economic recovery. And now on the foreign scene, Madagascar's President Andry Rajoelina has dissolved the National Assembly, preempting an opposition-led vote to force him out of office over the island nation's spiraling political crisis. Rajoelina has faced 2 weeks of deadly street clashes, led largely by young demonstrators furious with the ruling elite, forcing the 51-year-old leader into hiding. The presidency said in a statement that the decree to dissolve the assembly shall enter into force immediately upon its publication by radio or television broadcast. The United Nations says the agreed ceasefire between the Democratic Republic of Congo and Rwanda is not being respected. UN Special Envoy Hang Zua said the international peace efforts are commendable and promising, but they have to this day not live up to their promises. He called on the countries of the region to resume direct and frank dialogue and to take all necessary measures to put an end to the war once and for all. As the end of the nation's Secretary General Antonio Guterres' second term near year approaches, calls a mountain for the world body to finally put a woman in charge. The Costa Rican candidate aspiring to head the United Nations, Rebecca Greenspan, says the selection process should be carried out without discrimination against or preferential treatment for women. A subsequent bulletin, and out of the world of sport where celebration mounted as the Super Eagles of Nigeria have defeated the Cheetahs of the Benin Republic 4-0 in the decisive 2026 World Cup qualification at the Godswill Akpabio Stadium in Uyo. Super Eagles striker Victor Osimhen's hat-trick and second-half goal from substitute Frank Onyeka were enough to give Nigeria 3 points against Benin in its quest to qualify for the World Cup. Although the goals were not enough to give Nigeria the qualification ticket as leaders, South Africa secured 3 points by beating Rwanda 3-0, qualifying for the World Cup tournament in the United States of America, Canada, and Mexico in 2026. Barcelona has officially confirmed that an agreement had been reached with Frankie de Jong on a new long-term contract, with the formal signing ceremony scheduled for Fabrizio Romano's on his ex-post said. The new deal will keep the Dutch midfielder at the Dub club until June 2029, extending his stay and solidifying his role as a key figure in Hansi Flick's squad. And that's it on Global TV AM News. A quick reminder that Global TV is on DSTV channel 365 and Star Times channel 276. Kindly follow us on all social media platforms now showing on your screen using @Global TV NG. I am Ramsey Enoch Abo. Many thanks for watching.